Today on the workbench is this CoolMax NB-400. This is a laptop cooler, aluminum body. We have two fans, and on the back side we have speed control to adjust the fans, a 5-volt wall wart input, as well as two USB 2.0 ports. The third port is USB in to run from your laptop into here to feed power to these two ports. That also feeds power into the two fans. And this is what we're going to work on today, is replacing the USB input port. The little plastic tab in there is broken off. So we're going to replace that with new one. So let's go ahead and open this up. This is relatively simple to work on. All we have to do is remove two screws on either side, and then this slides out. You can probably see the broken piece in there. So we're essentially done with this unit right here. The company still makes this model, but then again they don't. They make a variant of this model, although it carries the same model number. The new model, this solid aluminum, actually collapses where it's more portable, where this one's all solid. They've also incorporated more USB ports on the back, which is great, but in my way of thinking they should have renamed the model, gave it a different model number. I think every time you change something, it's a different product. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this aside. And now for this, it's just simply these 3 screws, and then this board pops out. These are 90-degree mountable modules. We have the 4 electrical contacts, and then on either side we have the support contacts, and that's what it looks like on the inside. Okay, let's get started. I'll go ahead and use the heat gun to pluck that off. I got the heat gun set to 240 degrees. You gotta be careful at that temperature because it will burn you. It'll burn a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to stop using this. Even though it did start to come off, it's also bent the board. I'm going to let this cool down, and we'll come back and we'll use the soldering iron. And trust me, that son of a gun is hot. Well, here we are about 5 minutes later. The board is cooled down immensely. Touch it now without hurting yourself. However, PC board here has a definite deformation in it now. Put heat sink on the cord. That'll serve as 2 purposes. One, help take the heat off of it and not go up my fingers. And secondly, why, it's a cool little handle. Well, this is going slower than molasses. Try a different approach. Let's go ahead and just cut that off and then try to pull the pins out one at a time. That's how they do it in Dixie. A little deformed. You ever have a project that you take on that you think it'd be just the simplest, easiest thing to be done in 5 minutes, but it turns out to be quite the opposite? Turns into more like the nightmare from Hades, and anything and everything that could go wrong will go wrong. Well, that's exactly what this project has turned out to be. It's been at least 4 hours since I've turned the cameras off to finish working on this and extract the pins, clean up the pads, get this mounted, and get it resoldered. As you can see, I do have the new piece in. Problems I ran into was my heat gun, I guess 200 and whatever degrees it was I had it on, it was a little too warm, heated up the PCB board and warped it. The caveat to that is could I have done damage to the components and damaged them without realizing it? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Other issues I had getting this cleaned up, I had to cut out the old piece in order to extract it, and that should have been done. Should have been smooth sailing after that. That's not true. The pins were very hard to pull out, and by doing so I ended up removing 2 of the solder side pads, and I thought, great. But upon further inspection, this side really doesn't matter, at least as far as the 2 center pins are concerned. All the action is done right here on this side, top side. There are pads corresponding up here, solder pads, and that could be why I was having such an issue removing that, because not only was there solder here, but there was solder there, causing a big pain. But with those topside pads, the traces are here and they go to the IC chip. So when I put this back in, I went ahead and put some flux up there as well as down here. Turned the iron up a little hotter than you should. I cranked it up to about 900 degrees, and I did that for the sole purpose of to heat the pads up here and for the solder to take a bite up here. It appears that has done that. There is solder on that side that appears that it's formed. So with all that said, the only thing left to do now is to reassemble it. So now we just put this back in here, and the spacer's fallen off. Well, as I was mentioning, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Just to plug those 2 cables in, I had to remove this board, plug them in, remount the board. As easy as that sounds. The problem with those goofy screws kept falling out, but we are almost done. So hopefully all this is not in vain and we can get the last 2 screws installed without any issues. Alright, it is done. So now what I need to do, clean my mess up and plug this in and try it. Have a laptop on the workbench, have the fan cooler plugged in via the USB into the new port we just installed. So here is the moment of truth, turning on the laptop, and we should get something. And nothing. I guess instead of labeling this video as repair, I think maybe I should just label it how to break. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching and hanging in there this long. Holy cow, that cable, very hot. Very hot to the touch. So definitely don't do that. One thing I could think is heat gun, soldering iron on too long, take something out, or an unseen solder bridge. Either way, I mucked it up real good. So this becomes trash can material and I will purchase a new one. Again, thank you for watching and we'll see you next time when I could see what else I could break. Thanks again. Be good humans.